When I say go live, I mean I really mean live. Welcome, greetings. It's 2022. Is it still Clusterfuck 22, or is it now somewhat relieved Cluster Less Fuck 22? I don't think so. I think we're well on our way, based on what the Supreme Court justices are saying. Really. Greetings. This is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. It's an offshoot. It's a spontaneous combustion, a knee-jerk, an instinctual flex of my purest of instincts right here on this gonzo intergalactic internet Wi-Fi, whatever this is. I have no idea how this works. All I know is that I get to communicate, and isn't communication the foundation of a dream? Because you can't have an isolated dream. You can be independent, you can be self-sufficient and stand alone, but not completely alone. You have to have fellow shit kickers, family and friends, and people who are in the positive asset column of life itself, which brings them into the positive asset column of our individual lives. I would like to think, based on the communication I get on an hourly basis. By the way, am I a communicable son of a bitch or what? I relate to people. I have this positive spirit, positive energy, positive attitude, which, by the way, for all the positive, we do see some of the underbelly of pure negativity out there leveled at your old Uncle Ted, Mr. Sweetheart himself. I mean, if anybody's sweeter than I am, I would like to get that name, because I'd like to give that person a hug, because I am probably the sweetest man in the world. Nothing but love and affection and good positive energy and attitude and spirit. Don't you agree? But isn't it fascinating that my spirit, it irritates the demons of lesser beings? And I got to tell you, I've said it before, and since this is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, and I welcome you all into my dungeon, my man cave cuckoo's nest, guitars only. Kind of dicking around with the mighty Birdland. Looks like I'm out of tune here. Oh, it's because I went. When I do that, I get it out of tune. But you know, when you get life out of tune, you merely take a deep breath and tune life back up. But anyhow, thank you for all the positive energy, all the positive spirit, all the love, all the affection. We have mastered at the tender age of 73, no matter how old you are. By the way, I do these cameo things where I celebrate people's birthdays well into their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I got buddies that are in their 90s. How about a big salute to Claude Pollington up in Marion, Michigan, a Fred Bear blood brother of the mystical Flight of the Arrow, who bought Oneida bows and turned them into CP Oneida, Claude Pollington Oneida, then sold them to Bass Pro. But Claude Pollington is in his 90s. A great, great man, a shit kicker, a rock-solid asset column, working hard, playing hard, rugged individual, entrepreneur that has created a giant, wonderful, productive industry in the wilds of Marion, Michigan, right up in that area, just slightly northwest of Clare, the gateway to the northland of Jay's Sporting Goods. See how I can kind of intertwine my life's observations and experiences to coalesce into a celebration and a salute to a great entrepreneur. I just saluted Jay's Sporting Goods and Claude Pollington and our friends up north, my sister Kathy. Kathy, I love Kathy. Boy, talking about a working hard, playing hard, all-American shit kicker. That would be the Nugent genetics. That goes for all my kids, all my grandkids, my brother, my sister, my incredible wife, Shemaine. How about Shemaine? Talking about a Detroit dangerous babe. Come on. We've been married for, 33 years, 34 years? I can't keep track. All I know is that I love her madly. And I love you, Sister Kathy, madly, because you work your Nugent ass off. So, but Kathy's Kathy's a youngster. Which, by the way, here's an alert. Alert, alert. Emergency, emergency. We have an emergency. It's an alert. How does this work? Oh, there it goes. What a cool light. How very blinding. Blinding lights. Emergency, emergency, alert, dangerous alert with the guardian angel lights. These little things, just little tiny things in the palm of my hand. You just light up the world. My goodness. Good gracious sakes alive. Look at these things. You put that on your truck and all of a sudden you become like a spaceship. But anyhow, we're giving you an alert right now because my name is Ted Nugent and everybody thought that the flu was extinct. Well, the flu, influenza, it hasn't been eradicated based on the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, and the U.S. government, and the Communist Chinese World Health Organization. There is no flu. There is no heart attacks. Nobody's getting stabbed to death or anybody gets in a car wreck or decapitated. Everybody dies of the Wuhan weaponized virus. That's the bullshit running amok across planet Earth. But my name is Ted Nugent, and I've got the last known case of the flu. It's like a snot fest. It's like Kleenex owes me. I think half the rainforest is going to have to be cut down just to replenish the Kleenex wad that I have gone through in the last 4 or 5 days. But anyhow, I'm just treating my influenza. Actually, it's a combination of influenza and outfluenza. And I'm feeling mighty good in spite of the unprecedented resurfacing of the heretofore extinct flu. Maybe it's the weaponized Wuhan virus. I don't know. But ask me if I give a rat's ass. All I know is that I improvise, adapt, and overcome. But a big salute to Claude Pollington. See how I go on tangents you love? This is the Ted Nugent Spirit Tangent Campfire. Everybody loves the American campfire. Don't you hear it calling your name? Everybody loves the American campfire. Don't you hear it calling your name? Everybody loves the American campfire. Go ahead and fan the flame. We'll gather round, children, the party is on. Family and friends are here. Pull up a stump, set yourself down. I like to buy you all a beer. Everybody loves the American campfire. Don't you hear it calling your name? Everybody loves the American campfire. Go ahead and fan the flame. It was a great lick, huh? Wait till you hear the new song. The new song, American Campfire, from the Ted Nugent Detroit Muscle record is coming out in a couple weeks. Wait till you hear this son of a bitch. By the way, thank you for supporting Come and Take It, the love song to Beto O'Rourke and Joe Biden. They said they were coming to take our guns. I sent them my address. I sent the president and Beto O'Rourke my address and my schedule. Because if you want to start taking away the guns of the American citizens, why don't you punks start with me? Just an idea. Just an idea. So anyhow, a big salute to Claude Pollington in his 90s. Great, great man. Oneida Bose, right up there in Marion, Michigan, created a huge industry. Probably one of the most powerful, productive industries, the employment industry of Pollington Enterprises up there in Marion, Michigan. And my buddy Emil Schwartz, in his 90s. All right, here's a great story. This is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, brought to you by tednugent.com, where you can get this stuff. I signed a whole shitload of these again. No, really, the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire is brought to you by tednugent.com. You can get personally autographed Ted Nugent Come and Take It hats, and I Will Not Comply personally autographed hats. Look at that signature. Boy, that's a greasy-ass mojo signature right there, huh? So anyhow, the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire brought to you by tednugent.com. And don't ask me, where do I get a hat? If you have to ask, you don't get one. So anyhow, Emil Schwartz. You know I like Ford Broncos. I love my Broncos. By the way, a big salute to Pat Butler over there in Battle Creek. Are you in Battle Creek, Pat? I don't know where he is, but he's a Michiganiac, and he's a Bronco Michiganiac, which makes him the best Michiganiac because he's also a backstrap Michiganiac and a Fred Bear Michiganiac and a working hard, playing hard, great, great man, Pat Butler, Bronco dog. Builds Broncos, great guy. Built my 66 with Build a Bronco over there in Adrian or Ambien or over there near Jackson. But anyhow, I love my Ford Broncos. And in 1966, Ford came out with the Ford Bronco. Actually, it's in 63 they started working on it as a response to the very famous and World War II winning Jeep maneuverability, the Jeep. And so the Ford engineers created the Ford Bronco in around 1963. 1964 came out in 65. And I've been surrounded by Bronco maniacs. You know I love my Broncos. So I got my first Bronco in 1970 from Mike Stellingworth at Jackson Ford for $3,000. Brand new, fully loaded, $3,000. 3 in the tree, 302. Barack. So anyhow, I've always loved my Broncos. I think Ford Broncos have been attributed to Ted Nugent bronchitis. I have terminal Ford bronchitis. So Pat Butler, and then Mike Wood over at Ford, they would buy ads in the Ted Nugent Adventure Outdoors magazine. So I've had a great relationship with my Ford Bronco friends. And Bill Stropp became the master mechanic that would customize the Ford Broncos for Parnelli Jones. And so I was invited by Parnelli Jones and Bill Stropp and the amazing Mickey Thompson to do celebrity races. But then I started kicking everybody's ass with it in the celebrity world, including a guy named Bruce Jenner. I raced against Bruce Jenner at the LA Coliseum. I kicked his ass. Maybe that's why he went Caitlin. I can't be sure, but I think there was some confusion there because the gold medalist he got his ass kicked by the author of Wango Tango. At any rate, those were Jeeps. So Bill Stropp would build the ultimate Big Oldie, named after Olympic Beer, the sponsor of Parnelli Jones and Bill Stropp's Ford Bronco that won all the Bajas and the Parkers and the Mint 400s and the Baja 1000, the Baja 500, because Parnelli Jones mastered. Parnelli's in his 90s, I think, isn't he? But I was invited by Parnelli Jones and Mickey Thompson to race off-road with Tracy Valenta. I can't believe I remember all this stuff. And so I would race the Barstow 350 and the Mint 400 and the Parker 400 and the Colorado Pikes Peak, and I would kick ass, had the time of my life. You know why I did so good in the uninhibited melee, the insanity, the mayhem of off-road racing? Because I was born in Detroit, and I learned to drive in Detroit rush hour in a rent-a-car. You know, there's not very many things to be afraid of in life. A coiled cobra, Coiled rattlesnake within 3 feet, probably should be afraid of that. A sow grizzly bear with cubs nearby, should probably be afraid of that. But if you really want to be afraid, get in a rent-a-car with Ted Nugent in rush hour. So much fun. It's so much fun because it's like a race and I always win. So anyhow, Pat Butler, Brian Shupak, and Dave Miller, and Roush Yates, the Roush Yates fire-breathing horsepower gods of V8s. I've had the best of the best. I got to play bass guitar for Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley. I jammed with the greatest musicians in the world. I've always been surrounded by the greatest musicians in the world. I got to bow hunt with Fred Bear. You wonder why I'm so effervescent? You wonder why I glow like an emerald in the shining sun? Because I've been to the mountaintop and then I married Shemaine. Played bass guitar for Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley. Raced off-road with Mickey Thompson, Parnelli Jones, and Bill Strop. Bow hunted with Fred Bear. Best musicians in the world. Bill Strop built my Bronco with the Ford Motor Racing Team. And then I married Shemaine. And then I ascended to new heights when I got to communicate with you people at the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. Do you feel the love? You love the love, don't you? You notice how when I play American Campfire, that my right hand never stops. See, it keeps going, it keeps going. That's just what the doctor. Notice how the right hand never stops. Keep the right hand going. Of course, the ultimate, keeping the right hand going, the ultimate is right. How about Motor City Madhouse? How about... Lost my pick. Anyhow, got to keep the right hand going. I'd like to think that there's an an analogy there, a parallel there, that in life, keep the right hand going, keep the throttle going, be alive, carpe diem, take good care of yourself, like Claude Pollington in his 90s and Emil Schwartz in his 90s. I was getting around to my Bronco lifestyle because right now I'm surrounded by the Bronco gods. David Poston down there in Clifton, Texas, he takes piles of junk that look like it might have the letter B on something and turns them into masterpiece Broncos. And he rebuilt my 1969 Bronco. And Pat Butler perfected my 66 with Builder Bronco and Adrian. Is it Adrian or? Anyhow. And also, Brian Shootback and Dave Miller have resurrected my Zebra Bronco. Wait till you see what Dave Miller and Brian Shootback have done to perfect my Zebra Bronco. But I'm getting to, and also Bill and the guys down at Texas Metal at Extensive down in Houston. I'll give you a report on them soon. But it looks like they're building the greatest Bronco in the history of the world for me. I'll give you an update as soon as they do. But anyhow, Emil Schwartz, this guy's in his 90s, and he's lithe and exuberant and alive. And he was in Nevada when they tested Little Big Boy, the atomic bomb. He was there as a teenager in the U.S. Army. And these are the guys that I hang out with. And Emil Schwartz has a 1977, the holy grail of Ford Broncos. And he is thin and trim and muscular, and he'll get right down on the ground, crawl underneath my Bronco and go, well, you got a sending unit that's off here. Let me get that fixed. This guy, I'm surrounded by the Bronco gods, the greatest Bronco people in the world. Also, there's so many. I can't remember all the Bronco guys, but what's that one? Gateway Bronco near St. Louis, Missouri. Gateway Bronco. And then they got the Icon Bronco that they're building. So anyhow, there's a cult. I'm a member of the Lone Star Early Bronco Club and Jeff's Bronco Graveyard in Michigan. So I'm going on a Bronco tangent here because I love my Broncos. I was out driving my 69 today. Man, I think it'll crawl up your face. Dave Poston, nice job. But Dave's not feeling well because I went to turn the heater on. That heater didn't go on. So Dave will get around to fixing that heater. But anyhow, I got my 66, my 69, my 74 that Bill and the guys are almost done with, and the mighty Zebra Bronco. Oh, boy, do I love these sons of bitches. They are just high-performance, fun, cool as hell vehicles. I think the coolest vehicle ever. And the new Broncos aren't bad. People love them. The upgraded, the top-of-the-line stuff. The other ones look like, soccer moms, milk and bread trucks. But some of the Broncos look really good, and I think they're coming out with a high-performance, what do you call the high-performance for the Raptor? I think they're coming out with the Bronco Raptor. You better for it if you don't have your head too far up your electric truck ass. So this is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, only going on for a little while tonight. I hope you like that little guitar lesson. Keep the right hand going in life. Everything is pound, throttle, not da-da-da-da-da-da. I had to let the musical genius, a great man, musical genius, Steve Farmer, God rest his soul. We lost Steve last year. We lost Gunnar Ross last year. Steve the year before. John Drake we lost last year. Joe Podorczyk I lost last year. So many great, Jim Brown, we lost Jim Brown. We lost Steve Coleman and Steve Palmer. Boy, I lost a lot of friends the last couple of years. But that spirit, that piss and vinegar, I'm keeping alive because I'm carpe diem. The point I was bringing up about Claude and Emil Schwartz, that these guys are in their 90s and they're still alive and well, kicking ass. And I got another text today from a guy in Marble Falls, Texas, that's in his 90s. And he still bow hunts. Now, he said he didn't bow hunt this year because he got the Wuhan weaponized virus from Dr. Fauci. But these guys are in their 90s. So here's a little tip. I'm going to wrap this up because the official Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, brought to you by tednugent.com, and also brought to you by mypillow.com. Do not dismiss this. If you like to celebrate your truth, logic, and common sense with an adequate tsunami of piss and vinegar and attitude with the middle finger constantly aflame, then please support those who support the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. TedNugent.com. You can get my challenge coin. You can get the Come and Take It autographed hat, the Come and Take It autographed flag. I will not comply autographed hat. But go to mypillow.com. I mean it. If you like this, then just show your support for the conservative shit kicker attitude and values by going to mypillow.com, typing in the code SPIRIT, and buy a bunch of Mike Lindell's great world-class products. That's all I'm saying. Because this doesn't just fall out of the sky, even though I sound and act like I fell out of the sky. This actually is brought to you by tednugent.com and mypillow.com. So thank you for supporting this. Thank you for standing up for what you believe in: God, family, country, Constitution, Bill of Rights, the Ten Commandments, the Golden Rule, goodwill, decency, entrepreneur spirit, work ethic, the struggles, the sacrifices, and the risks to keep us in the asset column instead of the liberal Democrat Marxist liability column. There's only two columns, the asset column and the liability column. A salute to all of you who go through the rigmarole. What a great word. You said rigmarole, R-I-G, rigmarole. Well, I suppose you could be hooked on phonics, but anyhow, you know what I'm talking about, the rigmarole. A lot of rigmarole out there. The R word. So thank you for supporting the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, but it does take support. So thank you for your support. And I throw in some guitar lessons. How cool is that? Because nobody plays guitar like I do. Nobody even thinks like I do. Nobody invented flaming middle fingers quite like I do. So thank you for your support. TedNugent.com, MyPillow.com, and a great charity saving the lives of young Americans that are being destroyed by the U.S. government by importing fentanyl and deadly meth into our country through the open borders, which, by the way, here's a little hunch for you. It's not a hunch. Here's a little truism. It's not little. Here's a gargantuan, pivotal life and death truism, America. If you don't have secure borders, you are not a nation. Our president is a traitor. He's committing treason by refusing to secure our borders. That's his number one job. I'm not going to go deep into that right now. The Supreme Court. Ooh, they're supreme. Ooh, they're justices. Wow, they got black robes. I don't think so. Sotomayor. She's not a Supreme Court justice because she's qualified. She's a Supreme Court justice because of her gender and her ethnicity. That's what political correctness and what the culture war has created. You give a rat's ass about qualifications. We just need a woman of color. We need a woman with purple hair. We need a man that thinks he's a woman. We need a man that thinks he's a woman to ruin all the athletic women's record. See? We've lost it. Don't lose it. There's a lot of us that have not lost it. Look at Sadie. Sadie, what are you doing over there? Sadie, look how beautiful. That's Sadie. What are you doing, Sade? All right. She's coming over to see Dad. Oh, no, she's not. So I'll leave you with this. What am I doing here? Okay. I got the greatest bow in the history of archery. This is the Matthews V3X. I'm telling you, I better set up a target if I'm going to shoot. I better not just fling an arrow into the wall. There, now we're legal. That'll be the day, huh? So also up in Michigan is Boning Archery, Bohning. Look at, they make these beautiful Fred Bear vanes. And Clint Toro put these together for me, Cliff Toro. Fred Bear vanes. They got Fred Bear's autograph on them, and they're 4-fletch by Cliff Toro. Barack. The beautiful gold tip arrow. But they got Fred Bear's plaid, regalia on there. And I love the mystical flight of the arrow. I shoot my bow every day. I shoot my carry guns every day. I'm using a little thumb release here. Smooth, consistent release. But this Matthews V3X, I don't know if you can tell how quiet it is on the microphone here, but I turn into the mystical flight of the arrow. Come back gracefully. Settle in. Oh, baby. Get yourself a bow and arrow and become one with the mystical flight of your personal destiny. That's really what archery is. If you can put your gifts from God into putting that arrow where you want it, then you can apply your gifts from God to guide your life where you want it. Did you know that? A lot of you do know that because a lot of you have been hanging around the Ted Nugent campfire. And we are independent creatures of great capabilities. The great Native American chief said, God has already given you everything you need. Don't be looking for it, just let it out. Discover it organically. And nothing does that like becoming one with the hand-eye coordination. Mr. Left Hand is communicating with Mr. Right Hand through Mr. Eyeballs and Mr. Breathing, and Mr. Brain and Mr. Spirit. They are a tag team of unlimited capabilities. And you aim small, miss small. Get a bow that's really easy, smooth, and graceful. I'm shooting 50 pounds. Kill everything. Shemaine kills everything with a 30-pound Matthews. Well, you can't kill him with a Shut up. She kills everything with a 30-pound draw Matthews. 400-grain gold tip arrow, a 2-blade knife-cutting broadhead. Knife-cutting broadhead. Archery. It will cleanse the soul. Oh, baby, I had to specifically avoid hitting the other arrow. So that's the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. Thank you for joining me. This is the unofficial, well, everything I do is official. Tucker Carlson comes out in 15 minutes, and he will deliver truth, logic, and common sense, won't he? Like your Uncle Ted, nothing but truth, logic, and common sense. So flex those gifts from God every day. Let's take America back, raise hell with your mayor, your senator, your congressman, your governor, the White House. Let them know that Kyle Rittenhouse executed the perfection, the perfect instinct of self-defense, good over evil. We support the Kyle Rittenhouse conclusion. And we're against all these district attorneys in the shithole, hell zone, blue smudge, high crime, homeless, needles, feces, Democrat jurisdictions where they literally say they're not going to prosecute people who shoot and stab each other and people that destroy mom and pop businesses and steal everything. Those district attorneys, those court systems are on the side of evil. Tell your elected employees you know this. We are living in engineered recidivism. Engineered recidivism. It's engineered recidivism. Tell your mayor, your senator, your congressman, your governor, and the White House that we know what they're doing. They are intentionally engineering recidivism. Nearly 100% of violent crimes is committed by people that the system sicked on us. Tell them you know what they're doing. Tell them you know that it's engineered recidivism. Engineered recidivism. They're cultivating repeat offenses. They're guaranteeing the piece of shit district attorney from Waukesha, Wisconsin said, well, I know my policies will guarantee that innocent lives will be lost, but I stand by them. What species is that? What demonic, soulless, evil species is that? I know my policies will cause innocent lives to be lost, but I'm standing by the policies that will cause innocent lives to be lost. He said it. And he's in a position of justice authority. Huh? Well, Nugent's a radical. Yep. I experiment in self-government, the most radical thing in the history of the world. Thank you all for your support. I will see you here for the official Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire on Thursday, probably around 6 p.m. Central Time. But this is an augmentation to the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire because truth, logic, and common sense, it's exciting. It's delicious. It's inspiring. Is it not inspiring? Aren't you inspired when you demand truth, logic, and common sense in your family? It's inspiring. And by the way, thank you everybody for hiring me to do Cameo. I do some fun, crazy, fire-breathing, shit-kicker cameos. Go to cameo.com, I guess. I don't know how you do it. But I'm the best cameo there is. I'm so much fun, it's like delirious. If you want a standard cameo, don't hire me. Hire some standard guy. If you want a fire-breathing, shit-kicker, really fun, belly-aching laughter cameo, I'm your daddy. We'll see you here on Thursday night around 6 p.m. Central Time. Meanwhile, stand up for truth, logic, and common sense. God bless America. Please go to the FullCircleProgram.com charity. FullCircleProgram.com. FullCircleProgram.com charity. Young Americans saving Americans' lives that are being slaughtered by the U.S. government's importation of fentanyl. Is that not horrible? Is that just not horrible? Well, Nugent's a hater. Yes, I hate evil. I hate people that import fentanyl into my country. I hate people that don't charge murderers and rapists with crimes. Yeah, I have plenty of hate to go around. But I love you.